Let's start this video with a very creative way of using the Vice Vines. Did you ever consider using the vines on yourself? Take a look at this clip.
Good hit. My blind is dead.
Oh wait, this is actually
Yes, my friends, because the vines don't do a lot of damage if you don't move a lot, you can actually kinda use the vines on yourself and hide in them. If you use this trick on the right spots, it's very hard for the enemies to see you, and this might get you some easy peasy kills. Since it's so unique, I thought that this was a good one to start with, but I think you know the drill by now, right? In this video I show a lot more tips and tricks, cool mechanics, and of course cool plays, all sent in by you guys, the viewers. If you think to yourself, oh, I know a cool tricky, don't forget to submit it in the Lowlander Discord server, link in the description, and you might be featured in next video or even win a battle pass. Now sit back, relax, and let's start with the cool way to destroy this door on Abyss. When you play on the attacker side, destroying this door could be very beneficial. Whether you pushed or not, if it's not there anymore, you might confuse the enemy and set pressure to them. So here's a way to do it safely. If you walk behind this wall over here, you can jump on this box and shoot on the corner. Very simple, right? You can do it every round and give pressure to them. But if you think, oh my god, I need to walk all the way around that big wall, I'm too lazy for that. Alternatively, you could also go to this corner and then shoot a little bit above the wood till you hear the door breaking. This method is a bit less reliable though, so you need a little more bullets and use your ears. A tricky that's more reliable though, but I don't see a lot of people talking about, is to not plant a spike over here in nest, but instead plant a spike behind this wall on nest. And I hear some people thinking, MrLowlander, if you plant behind this wall you don't see if the enemy is defusing or not. I know, but that's exactly the point. If you plant a spike in the middle of nest and the enemy is going for a fake defuse, when you peek into a vandal that's aiming at you. While on the other hand, if you plant behind the wall of nest, the enemies might feel safer because they're behind the wall and then stick the defuse. But as we all know, the walls in Valorant are made of paper, and since it's such a small wall, you can go for some easy wall bangs and get the enemies anyway. Just take a look at this clip from Night N and you'll understand why this planting spot is so good.
I've got your trail.
I would be very tilted if I were the enemy. And also, since we're talking about planting spots, here's a cool spot on Abyss. A few episodes ago I showed that if you stand against the ledge and plant a spike, it will not land on the ledge. But if you take a step back and then plant against the ledge, it will land on it. Well, my friends, instead of using this mechanic on B, of course you can also use it on A, and then I would highly recommend to use it over here. When you know it's clear and you manage to plant a spike over here, you can not only hold it from main and the defender spawn, but also from heaven. And this, my friends, is just one of the nastiest spots to hold the post plant from. You can simply see the heads of the enemies when they are defusing, so a post plant win should be easy peasy for you. Now take a look at this attacker spawn sage wall. I never seen this wall before, but after seeing it, I definitely gonna use it in my games.
¿Quieres jugar? Jugué.
No idea why there were 3 enemies in mid over there, but beautiful headshots, my friend. And here's another wall for those sage mains. You know that sometimes when you want to defuse the spike, you're not sure if the enemies are in front of you or behind you. When this happens, most players will take a gamble, place their wall in front of them, and hope the enemies don't come from behind. But stop doing this. Here's a cool tricky that you can do. When you aim the middle of your wall exactly on the spike, the middle wall segment will break, but you get a segment in front of you and behind you. This means that you'll get cover from the front and the back, and this might be enough to defuse the spike. Well played, player in No 10.
I will not die here. Clutch.
One more sage tricky. One more sage tricky. Take a look at this clip. This looks unfair, right? Yup. That definitely looks unfair. So here's how you can do it. On Icebox, simply place your wall over here. And now when the enemies are pushing screens, you will see their feet first. And they won't be able to see you until they push forward. It's a very nasty trick. Well played, it's genius.
Satisfied. One day.
And oh yeah, you can also do this if you're feeling risky.
One enemy remains.
Now it's time to show you some not very known Valorant mechanics. The first thing actually happened in a game of mine. I was just playing Killjoy, threw my nanoswarm, and while my nanoswarm was mid-air, this happened. Did you see that? My nanoswarm actually got destroyed mid-air. When this happened, I was like, no way that this is a thing. So I hopped into a custom game, did some testing, and this is what I found out. When you throw your nanoswarm through an ability that does damage, for example a KO Molotov or a Brimstone ultimate, it will get destroyed mid-air. It's very annoying, right? But this also brings up a question, can you destroy it with a gun mid-air? And the answer, drumroll please, no. Sadly you cannot do this. Or I'm just very bad at aiming. But I've tested it multiple times, and my conclusion is no, you can't destroy it with the gun mid-air. Pretty strange actually if you think about it. And let's do another mechanic that I bet a lot of people not know about. As we all know, when you try to pick up the Vice while mid-round, you're not able to do it. However, when you do it in the pre-round, you will be able to do it. Makes sense, right? You can just pick it up, replace it without any cooldown to find the perfect spot. However, here's a thing that not a lot of people know. When the timer of the pre-round is ticking down and you pick up your wall on the 0.00 mark, just before the real round starts, you are able to pick it up. However, you get a 20-second cooldown on your wall. Is this useful to know? Definitely not, but it's cool to know that there's actually a cooldown on this ability. Wanna see another useless Valorant mechanic? If you go over here on Haven, you can actually double jump on the stairs. This makes you go up very fast. However, it's extremely hard to pull off. I honestly tried for a long time, but I couldn't pull it off. So Crazed Noodle, props to your skill. A cool thing you can practice in the pre-round, I guess. A Valorant mechanic that is useful, however, is this one. A thing that you need to know is that if you defuse the spike as soon as the enemy plants it, the sound will be less clear for the enemies.
Spike planted.
However, of course, it's very hard to defuse the spike as soon as the enemy plants it, because you need to stand next to him, right? Well, my friends, luckily the enemy isn't always personally planting the spike, because you also have this yellow blob over here. If you notice that the enemy is planting with the wingman, stand next to the wingman and defuse as soon as he plants. In all the chaos, the enemies might not hear it, and you can go for some sneaky ninja defuses. Why do I know that this works? Well, because of multiple clips. Look at this.
Spike planted.
You and me!
Reloading.
Oh my god.
Now take a look at this clippy. For those who didn't know, you can actually block the deadlock ultimate to get a kill steal. Everything for that higher kill death ratio.
He's not gonna let him die.
Now I want you to take a look at this clip over here.
Last player standing.
ये क्या कर रहा भाई?
Whoa, it's been a very long time ago since I saw that trick in action. Hiding inside the Yoru clone. Some might ask, MrLowlander, is this a good thing to do? I've tested it a while ago and the answer to that is not really. From some angles the enemies might not be able to see you, but it's a cool trick to try out. Maybe it works for you. A trick with a higher success rate is this next one. Oh, wait, not that one. This one I mean. You know that with Cypher a golden rule is that you should place your cam as high as possible. The reason is that you see more and there's less chance that the enemies will see your cam. Well, my friends, sometimes you need to break that rule. Here on Abyss, for example, instead of placing your cam high, place your cam down here. Now, when you plant the spike on the bridge and go to main, this is a very nasty angle to spot the enemies from. When they are defusing, they most likely look towards main. So when you activate your cam and tag the enemy, easy wallbang for you. Now it's time to take a small break from the tricks and go to my favorite part of the episodes, the trick shots. First up, we have some blind sheriff headshots. Then we have a stunned no-scopy. A perfect lineup of 3 enemies. And an insane spray transfer.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Back to the tricks. A cool thing you can do with Vice is stand against this line over here, then aim at the bottom of this box, and when you throw your Vines it will land inside. There's no way that the enemies will find this and destroy it, so you can just activate it when the enemies are pushing. Let's move on now with the Clove tricky. A trick that in theory could be very good is to throw your decay on the enemy and then go for some martial shots. Because your decay lowers the HP of the enemy, you can now insta-kill with the martial, and you might get a lot of kills. When done successfully, your round will look something like this.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
What the hell?
Let's now move on with an important Valorant tippy. Before the round starts, I would highly recommend to always look which enemies has an ultimate ready and which don't. The reason, if you know which enemy does have an ultimate, you know what you should and shouldn't be doing in a round. For example, you notice that the enemy ISO has his ultimate and you play Yoru, then you can try to bait him out in using his ulti, and when the animation begins, place your Yoru clone down and then go to his spawn to make a kill. A bit like Crazy Noodle is doing in this round. It's you and me! Big brain, right? Now he simply walks to the Yoru spawn and then...
Stairs.
Easy kill. Also, Crazed Noodle, you won this video's battle pass, so congrats my friend. Let's do an older tricky now, but this proves that some tricks never get old.
Wall raised.
And while we're talking about sage walls, did you ever try to place your wall over here on Icebox? Why is this one good? Well, first of all, you block off mace, of course. But the reason why this is good is that if you want to, you can jump on this barrel and then jump on top of your wall. For the enemy's perspective, it looks like a normal wall, so they don't think you can do it. And this might catch the enemies off guard. Again, player Indo 10, well played, dude.
My turn. 3 down.
Ooh la la, 4 kills. Place your bets now. Can player Indo 10 get the ace? Nice. Now imagine, the enemy Yoru is using his ultimate and runs towards you. Very scary, right? You probably can expect the flash very soon. So when this happens, you need to do everything in your power to dodge the flash. What can you do best when this happens? Stand against the wall and look down a little bit. As soon as you hear the flash pop, turn around immediately and then go for the kill. Player Indo 10 used this trick during his game and he got the Yoru easy peasy. Sorry Yoru mains, sorry that I showed this to your enemies. Luckily I also got this clippy over here. I don't think I need to explain anything, just take a look and adapt these plays in your game. And this, my friends, this was the last trick. Big thanks to everyone who submitted something. I hope you learned something new and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.